Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on one thing: single barrels. Best of all, you can try before you buy. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution so you know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and who from the industry may be coming in to visit. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. We are also sponsored by the Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers traveling minibars that are no bigger than a small purse or toiletry bag. Best of all, they are fully customizable so you can create the perfect piece that is unique for you. If you own your own business, what a fun and unique way to promote what you do. Check them out online at thebar2go.com. That is the number 2 in the Bar to Go. If you have wholesale questions, call my friend Isabel Clark at 504-481-1297. Finally, we are sponsored by the Neely Family Distillery. NFD is a family-owned business that keeps ringing up awards in the spirits world. Head to Sparta, Kentucky to experience the family history, award-winning spirits, and meet the Neely family. Check them out online at neelyfamilydistillery.com. Now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we talk about the KDA's new Build Your Own Bourbon Trail app.
Yeah.
My name is Miss Becca Sue. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, as well as our special guests, Justine Mays, Katie Joyce, and Matt Welch.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hello.
Hello. So yeah, we're going to be talking today about a new app, Build Your Own Bourbon Trail, and what that means, the KDA. I think this is a step in the right direction. I don't know that it's perfection, but and we don't know a lot of the details yet. And they don't have the full details in the article. So all we know is in general. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Hopefully, as this gets officially launched, and we'll get some more details, and we'll get a feel for what it is after that. Right now, we have no insider information. We just saw a press release. So we'll get to that in a little bit. For right now, though, Becca said there's something she wanted to talk about. What is that, Becca?
Yeah, so I had a situation that occurred last week. But anyways, I wanted to know, and I can talk about that after the fact. I wanted to know, I think not everyone is married here, but everyone has, I would assume, at least been in relationships.
Yeah.
I want to know if you've ever fucked something up in your household.
Oh, I thought that's a
Right, here we go.
Fucked something up in your household, and you've been nervous to tell your significant other about it. And what it was that you did, and then you had to, as I like to say, confess your crimes.
Okay.
And what it was that you fucked up that you were like, oh no, and you're like, I don't want to tell them about this, but you have to eventually, and it's like you're trying to maybe fix it beforehand, and you're like, oh fuck, they're not going to be happy about this.
Yeah. There's got to be dozens of these, I bet. I mean, we've been living in this house 35 years or whatever. But I can't think of any off the top of my head. I'm sure
it's easier every time. Anytime you fuck something, I can start with mine.
Okay.
Just so you guys can think about like a time that you fucked something over the house. You're like, oh god, dang it. So, last week, Royce has been in Florida for a while, right? Mm-hmm. And I was up here working at the distillery, and I was like going back. I had a bunch of stuff going on. Also, I was having a great day. I woke up in a great mood. I slept great. Everything was good. There was a lot of like just good things. I was like, I got a lot of stuff accomplished. Like everything was good. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I came up to the house to get some lunch, and I was just in a great mood, and I was like, just a great day. Like, and I never have those, by the way. I'm never just like, what a great day. Most of the time I'm like, fuck, I got shut. Like, I never just think in my head, what a great day today is. And I had that thought, what a great day. This is just a nice day. And I was like, I had some lunch, and I was like, you know what, I need to take the garbage out. So I go grab the garbage. It was kind of cold out that day, and I had parked in the garage, and the garage door was kind of closed pretty closely behind me. So I opened the garage door up, and I put down the tailgate on the truck. I go and grab the garbage. I'm putting it in the back of the truck. I close up the trunk. And I get in the truck, and then I think I'd gotten like a phone call or a text or something. I'm like reading that, and then I push the garage door button, and I back up. The garage door had already been opened.
Uh-huh.
Oh no.
You hit the garage door?
And so now the garage door is coming down
Oh.
because I'd already opened the garage door.
Ah.
Now the garage door is coming down as I'm backing up
Mm.
with the truck.
Yeah.
And I hit the garage door.
Oh.
And I was like, and it wasn't down all the way, so it came down on top of the truck. And
Oh, perfect.
I was like, oh.
Several things getting damaged.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God. And so it bounces off the truck and it goes back up. Not all the way. I like, as it's starting to go up, I'm like, holy shit, I need to stop it because I've hit it. So I'm like pushing the button again so it stops. It stops. And I'm like, oh my God. Which honestly, thank God I did that, because if it would have gone up all the way, carnage would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
And so I get to stop, and I'm like, I pull forward, and I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? And I hop out of the truck, and I go look, and I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. I'm like kind of looking at it, and like I do fix things a lot, so because I'm kind of a fixer.
Right.
And so I'm like, I kind of look at it, and I'm like, and not too deeply, because of course we had like a full crew of people working behind our house at our bottling station, and the door had been closed, but after this had happened, they opened the garage door to do some work, and I was like, I don't want to be standing out here like trying to fix a garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, so I kind of look at it, I see them open their garage door, and I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. And so I look, and like the one of the rollers is off, so I had a contact fall on my face here.
Okay.
One of the rollers had popped out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
It is bent.
Ooh, that's bad.
And also the bottom seal of the garage had like gotten ripped down. And so like it looked very, very bad.
Yeah.
And so I just like looked at it for a second. I see them open their garage door up, and I just go, I'm going inside. I walked inside. I sat down on this couch, and the Olympics were on. I sat here, sort of watched the Olympics, and I just sat here in silence, didn't look at my phone, didn't do anything. I just sat here, and I was like, I sat here for an hour, just sitting here, and I was
Right.
like,
Taking in what has
because
had
also
occurred.
we have a very large garage door,
Mm-hmm.
and so those are not cheap.
Right.
And so I sat here for a while, and I was like, okay, all right, what the fuck have I just done? And so on top of that, because of what I've just done, and I'd stopped the garage door from going up or down, the garage door is not up high enough for me to back out the truck to get it out.
Yeah.
I can't close the garage door because it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I'm like, it's cold out too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is all just
There's a lot going on here.
lots of just bad news all around there.
Yeah.
And so I go out there and I like look at it, and I'm like kind of like poking and prying around, and I'm like, okay, like how bad is this actually? And I'm like, I look, I'm like, okay, this has just been, the seal just been pulled off the bottom. So it looked bad, but it was not as bad as it appeared to be. And so I get some like good screw, I get that screwed back in. I'm like, all right, that doesn't look too bad. It's bent though. And there are scratches on the top of the truck. And one of the wheels is out, and I'm like, oh my God. But it wasn't out all the way. It's like kind of like twisted a little bit, so it was like kind of in the track, kind of out of it. But I got it pulled out, and then I was able. I was like, okay, I think I can open it a little bit. I opened it a little bit more. I was like, all right. And so I go down to the distillery, and I'm like, I walk in, and I look at one of our guys. I'm not going to say any names here. I look at one of the guys, and I go, I fucked up. And he's like, what'd you do? And I said, I fucked the garage up. And he goes, well, bring me up there, and I'll tell you if it's actually as bad as you think it is. I said, that's fair enough. And so I bring him up here, and he looks at it. He's like, no, I think we can fix this. Like, it's going to be okay. And so he kind of straightens it out a little bit. We got the roller back on, and it looked fine. It didn't look fine. Like, it's not perfect, but I was like, okay, like this is going to be okay. But then, after that, you're like, okay, it can go up and down. Everything's okay. But then it's like, okay, I have to tell my husband this eventually.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's like the scariest part. You're like, oh no, how upset are they going to be? And so I was like trying to figure out the appropriate time to tell him. And then I saw my father-in-law. He came up here and I said, "Hey, Roy, I got to tell you something I did." And he's like, "Oh no, that's my father-in-law." And I'm like, I hit the garage door and he looks, he goes, "It's really not that bad." He goes, "You could just not tell him." And I was like, "No, not going to do that." 'Cause it is still there. Like
Right.
it's still a problem. And so the one day I was like, oh, I'm going to tell him today. My husband's in a great mood. Royce is in a great mood. I don't want to tell him today because he's in a great mood.
No, that's the day to do it. That's the
He
day
said
to
I'm going to
do
bring him
it.
down. So I'm like, all right.
Huh.
And then another day, he's in a horrible mood. And I'm like,
No,
no,
I want to do that day.
that's maybe a bad day to tell him.
Right.
He's in a horrible mood. So he's going to be
Hmm.
really pissed. So I'm like, I don't really want to tell him now. And then I went down to Key West, and I didn't tell him it had happened when I was down there.
Well, sure. Yeah. You don't want to tell them that's on
And then
holiday.
yeah, then he came back. He did not notice it.
Well, there you go.
And then yesterday, all the vehicles were covered in salt from just the winter, and it was a beautiful day out. And I was like, he's like, I think we need to wash these. And I was like, you know what? I'll wash all three vehicles.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't want to see those scratches on the top of that truck. So, yeah,
Well,
I'll
so
wash
I
it.
didn't. Well, for one, I didn't
Right.
really want him to see that, but I was like,
Right.
I'll wash all three. And so I like wash all three of them, and I was like, you know what? Right now is probably the perfect time to tell him
Oh,
because
God.
I just spent 2.5 hours
Sure.
washing three vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And so it seemed like the appropriate time, and it was because he was not as upset. But also, it didn't look as horrible as it could have. But I just want to
Yeah.
know: do you guys have any instance like maybe you like dropped like their grandma's plate on the ground and
Okay.
smashed it,
Yeah.
or there's numerous things that you could have done. You broke their favorite, I don't know, the Lego set, their favorite bottle.
Right.
There are definitely things that can happen, and it's like, and you didn't mean to do it. It's not like it was completely just like my head was just too much in a routine of like now I open the garage door up. Like I just
Right.
didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Complete mistake, but sometimes it really, golly, it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite in my house. John has done that exact same thing where the garage door is already open and then he's hit the button and started to back out. But it did not break the garage door, but it did scrape along like the hinge of the trunk of the vehicle he was driving. He didn't say anything to me until then one day I was putting something in there and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, what happened? Someone must have like hit you." He's like, "Oh no, I did that. Garage door that." And I was like, "What? Did
That's
you
the appropriate way to do
about
it.
the door?" Like I then overreacted. And so
Oh,
See,
this is
and
why I didn't
that's
tell you.
and that's why I told him because I was like, the last thing I wanted was to not say anything.
yes,
And
agreed.
all of a sudden him notice it one day and be like, what the and all of a sudden like because all of a sudden when you do notice it, it's like, hold on a second. How much is fucked up here?
Yes.
Right.
And that's why I had to confess my crime.
It's yeah, it's probably the opposite in our house that John's like, shit, I gotta tell her that I because
Yeah.
immediately in my head I was like, well, there's that gouge in the kitchen floor from when he didn't listen to me and he dropped a plate. There's the scrape on the wall from da 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 da. Da.
Yep.
The only thing that I would really mess up with is his trumpet. That there's been times that I have almost dropped it, and especially if it hits it and like dings it in a certain place, I could ruin it. And
Right.
like that's his trumpet, like he used professionally. That's the one he's always had. And so there have been times where like I almost had a heart attack right then and there because I have been like moving it, cleaning it, etc., and almost dropped it. And I'm like, that would be the horrible one. That if I
Yeah. I'd be
I
afraid of
hung the
that thing.
bracket of where it hangs on the wall now, and I get a little nervous. I'm like, am I confident that I hung that bracket? Okay, like it's fine. I'm sure you could
Well, a
hit
musician in their instrument is
at least 100
is
pounds, and this
interesting.
thing weighs 5 pounds. But
Right.
I got nervous. I'm like, oh no, it feels so vulnerable now, and I'm the one who hung the bracket on the wall. If anything ever happens, it's gonna be my fault.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
True.
Scary.
Like Katie, I have been a victim of this type of thing. Of course, I had this one really good pair of cutoff shorts. That there were the light blue jeans, the rare light blue jeans, not the standard blue jeans, the lighter one. And I mean, most of my photos, if I'm around you guys, I'm in shorts, I'm probably wearing those because I save those for, when I have to look good. So, those are my favorite shorts. And the warden makes me stop at Buc-ee's, and I don't like Buc-ee's, but I have to go in there because that's what she wants to do. Sometimes you got to compromise, so you take them to Buc-ee's or whatever. So she gets one of these tie-dyed t-shirts, Buc-ee's tie-dyed t-shirt. And then when we get back after vacation, she washes it with my shorts, my favorite. And now I have tie-dyed shorts. She brings on, she's like, oh, shit. She's in the laundry room. I'm like, what could be a laundry room accident, And she's like, oh, no, it's not good. Don't come in here. I'm like, what? No, now I want to come in here. What's going on? And then I see my shorts, and they're tie-dyed. All these colors of the rainbow on there. And that Buc-ee's shirt kind of twisted up and leaning on them, just right gently across the crotch, where the darkest colors are highlighting my wiener. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Listen, a lot can happen in the laundry room. I accidentally, Roy says he has a notebook that he keeps in his pocket all the time.
All right.
It has all the most important information of everything
Yes.
he has to get done. And I washed it one time.
Oh no.
And I was like, I was like, oh my God.
Whose fault was it? Did he put it in the laundry or did you grab it?
I just threw everything in the laundry because it was in the laundry. So I was tossing it in the laundry.
That's the problem with women and men. Men always think they can get another day out of something, and women are like, nope, that's going to the laundry.
And so it was in the laundry. So it was on the ground. So it must be dirty. So I just tossed everything in the laundry and it was in there. And I was like, oh my God. And I just left it in there to dry out for a day or two. And he's like, I just cannot find my notebook. And I was like, that's so weird.
In the meantime, what's where the notebook.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's drying out. And so I'm like, I'm not going to say anything. And then I let it dry out, and everything did stay in the notebook. The notebook was ruined, but you could read everything in it.
Okay.
So nothing bled. And so
I was imagining you finding a little shred of paper on a piece of clothing,
God.
and you're like, oh no, and it turns up into confetti.
Somehow, since it was in the pocket, it was protected.
Uh-huh.
But so it was just soaking wet, and so I just let it dry out. And then I was like, he's like, I just cannot find my notebook. I was like, I gotta confess, I washed it.
How'd that go over? Was that okay? Because he could read the stuff?
It went okay.
See, he's a good guy. Yeah.
He also did not get too upset at me about the garage door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I apologized. I said, I don't know.
Yeah, seems like you'd be willing to take he and his friends down to a trip down to Louisville.
Oh my God.
With these sort of transgressions, you think you'd be willing to do that?
Steve. It wasn't that bad.
Yeah. So okay, Matt, how about you? Matt seems like the type.
I'm scratching. Yeah,
So
I'm not the
so
kind
polite.
of guy. Yeah, I'm not the kind of guy to pull a Tommy Boy. Like when he bends the door back in so that when David Spade opens the door, he's like, "What did you do?" I don't.
That's what
A good Tommy Boy
I've-
reference is always good. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that, but one story did come to mind. My wife's mother, who's no longer with us, but we moved her from her house to assisted living, and we had the unbearable chore of going through just boxes and boxes of all of this stuff with nowhere to put it. And among the boxes was this teddy bear. And it was my wife's childhood bear. It was like a Care Bear type of bear. The thing was disgusting. It was kept in a box that wasn't sealed, right? So we're talking about just years of childhood drool, and it was all pilly and it was faded, and we were in that zone of just keeping tossing Goodwill, keeping tossing Goodwill. And I jokingly, or I said seriously, I'm tossing this, right? And she said, thinking I was joking, oh, yeah. And I tossed it.
Oh, fuck.
And then after the dust had settled, and it was a month later, we were back at the house, and she was looking through some of the boxes. She's like, well, where was that teddy bear? And I'm like, oh, I threw that out. And she was so
Jesus.
mad.
Yeah.
But it was,
no.
I mean,
And rightfully so. Yeah.
in my defense, it was so bad. It needed to go. It had to go. But yeah,
All those memories and sentiments go too.
that one
so
still
that's
gets
why.
brought up from time to time.
Sure.
Yeah, it still
That's
gets
not
brought
going to be
up.
one that you recover from.
I won't live it down. No.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Oh my gosh.
Justine, you got anything for us?
I I don't. I've only ever lived with one of my boyfriends, and he didn't give a shit about anything. He was the one that ruined everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He came in one time. I had the laundry going, and it was a white load. And he came in from doing concrete and then helping his dad milk the cows. So he had cow shit all over his pants, and he just didn't look. He just took them off and threw them in the washer and ruined a whole load of laundry. Several times he did that. But yeah, I could have done the same thing and he wouldn't have given a shit. Like, he just didn't. He was a backroads country boy. He didn't care about nice things.
Mm. Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah,
Hard to
I
take
haven't done
like
anything,
that.
but I've had things done that I
She's
wasn't.
been the victim. She's been the victim.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. On that note, guess what, gang? It's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Justine. Justine, what do you got there?
Oh, let's see here. I have some Bourbon Deluxe.
Okay.
I don't think this is the store pick one. I think it's just a bottle. It's the 111 proof. Is that the store pick or just?
I don't remember. There's a rum finished small batch and there's the barrel pick. I don't remember which
Yeah,
one
that's
that is.
that's the small.
Does it have wax on the top? Wax on the top is the rum.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
this
the
is
rum.
the rum finished one.
Yeah.
So
Okay, that was solid. Solid. It could be enough. We'll see how it goes. Becca's next. Becca?
I've got our Neely small batch. Oh no, this is a single barrel. It's a small batch. Okay, that explains a lot more. This is our single barrel Neely.
Okay. Okay, not a lot going on there. I'll go next. I've got a Peerless Rye known as Strawberry Shortcake. Strawberry Shortcake is the name of this one. Let's see what we got here. Wow.
Ooh.
We have a leader. That is me. Matt, you're next.
I have the Rossville Union ABV Rye
All right.
Barrel Pick. Let me moisten the cork.
Okay, not enough. Not enough. Katie's last but not least.
I've got a Neely single barrel
Okay.
and a cat on my shoulder, so we'll see
Yeah.
how this goes.
Okay. It did not scare the cat, so we know it wasn't loud enough. So,
Oh, it was
cheers to me.
so good on my end, though.
no, cheers to
Really
me.
good.
Cheers.
maybe the cat's just used to it.
Oh, he is.
Maybe. We'll take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking about the new Build Your Bourbon Trail. We'll do that in just a few. Okay, let's talk about the people that make these shows happen. First up is the Stave and Thief Society. Via their in-person class at Moonshine University in Louisville, Kentucky, the Stave and Thief Society is the place where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge an executive bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my executive bourbon steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Speaking of executive bourbon steward certification, the ABV Barrel Shop in St. Louis, Missouri has developed a unique partnership with the Stave and Thief Society to offer a preparatory class to assist you in getting your executive bourbon steward certification. This prep class costs only $25 and is available to take live or online via Zoom. Graduates of our class receive a coupon code good for 15% off your executive bourbon steward certification held in Louisville, Kentucky. This saves you almost $90. Additionally, you can collaborate with fellow attendees to split travel costs when you go to Louisville. If you're interested in signing up for the class, simply head over to abvbarrelshop.com and check out the classes and events page. Last but not least, we are sponsored by Neely Family Distillery. Royce Neely is the 11th generation distiller in one of America's oldest distilling families. A visit to Neely Family Distillery takes you through family history, where you can see all the artifacts and newspaper clippings through the years from this family that started distilling in America after James Neely arrived from Northern Ireland in 1740. Today, Royce Neely and his team are crafting some of the best spirits in America. Their bourbon and absinthe offerings keep winning top honors in the spirits competitions. Recently, their absinthe made history as the first platinum winner in the absinthe category at the San Francisco Spirits Competition. Neely Family Distillery is definitely a bucket list destination if you are a bourbon fan. Learn more about their spirit offerings, visiting their facility, and the awards they have collected over at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com. And now, back to the show. All right, well, there's a look at some of our highlights in 2025. Share with us yours in the comments below. I don't know what that means. All right.
You're listening to the Bourbon Daily.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're talking about the new Build Your Own Bourbon Trail.
Yes, we are. So the KDA put out a press release as we record this last week, and it said basically that they are coming out with an app that allows you to kind of coordinate your trip to Kentucky, which is good. I think that it's difficult to put together a distillery trip. You got to go to a bunch of different websites, and they have all different rules. And one might be book 3 weeks out, another one might be the week of they release the tickets and stuff like that. So it's very hard to coordinate a trip. And it's designed to help you out with that. It's designed to help you put together an agenda that makes sense. And my understanding, again, we don't have it yet, but it sounds like you might be able to book some of them, maybe not all of them. I don't know for sure. Directly through the app, which would be nice. It'd be nice if we got to a point where there's one place where you could book all your distillery tickets and stuff like that, but it doesn't say that that's the case. It's certainly not out of the gate. So talked to Becca a little bit about this beforehand, and it still may be in the works too, because she wasn't asked about it or anything. She didn't know the details of it. So they're probably in the process of working with all of the 68 members. We know there's 68 on the Bourbon Trail right now. So that's a lot to coordinate and get together, particularly if you're going to kind of incorporate systems in it and stuff. But overall, I think it's a good idea, don't you guys? I mean, anything they can do to organize this is better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends. I mean, from a distillery standpoint, it's a little bit different because we have different systems that we already use.
Right.
So if they're trying to force us into using a separate system than what we already have, it's well, some of us already pay for a certain system.
Right.
And like we use Kentucky Hug.
Yeah.
And Kentucky Hug's been a good system for us to use, and there's other ones that use Any Road or whatever else they use. And if it just brings them to the website to book, that's one thing. But
right.
if they're trying to have a whole separate system of booking,
correct,
then it would have to go
and we don't know the answer to that. We're not saying one way or another because we don't know.
I don't know. So
right.
I don't know I'm not positive on what the plan is here.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely a lot of things that go along with.
Yeah, I would assume, and again, I'm not talking from any sort of knowledge, but I would assume, and that's where you can get in trouble when you're assuming things, but I would throw it out there that if they are booking it, they want a little piece of it, right? If they're talking about a separate system where they'll book for you, so then I would assume also that the distillers. Now I'm assuming for the KDA and for the distillers, really getting myself in trouble. But I would assume most distillers want to then keep it separate because there's going to be plenty of bookings they'll get directly. Like if I'm like, hey, when I go up to there, I'm going to be with Neely Family Distillery. I'll just get on their website and boom, 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 I'm with Neely, and that way you would want to keep a separate system so you don't have to pay the fees back. To the KDA, I would think, but I don't know.
I mean, we kind of with our system, we were one of the very first ones on the system that we're on.
Yeah,
we were some of the first ones that joined our platform, and so we definitely have some perks to being some of the first ones. And so we wouldn't want to join a new platform if it's going to cost us money.
Right.
To join, I would imagine. But, I mean, I've got a lot of issues with how the Bourbon Trail's going right now anyways. Just
right. I agree.
Taking away the passports was a very big deal to us because now even just keeping track of because we don't know now if someone's coming in because of the Bourbon Trail.
Right.
We have no idea. And so
this will help with that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it should, you'd think, but there's a lot of issues to me right now with how the Bourbon Trail is
Right.
things.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead,
The
Katie.
website that the article that you'd given us a reference to for this topic, so it mentioned the website for the Build Your Own Bourbon Trail tool because there is the app and like an actual app on the phone as well. But I went to look at that and the reviews from it were like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that app
And
is
so I
really
didn't
old.
I
That's
didn't
not
know if they
on.
were revitalizing the app, but I went to the website mentioned in the article and that did appear to be updated. I played around with it a little bit. It did have some cool filters. I did like that it would take it by region. So like in Louisville, a northern region, a southern, and so it kind of helped people go to a region and then choose from within here. And then it wasn't perfect from what I saw, but it was cool that when you would go to a trip and add it, it would fill in how long of a drive it is between the two and how many miles. And that alone, I thought could be really helpful for people because there was one I played around and I chose one that I knew was going to be further away, and a little pop-up did come up of saying, "Hey, just so you know, this is a longer drive. You may want to consider not doing these on the same day."
Okay,
Like
that's
just be
good.
aware.
That's handy.
So,
Now,
yes.
now that like if it's just telling you like that kind of stuff, then that all makes sense.
And it did because I went like to Neely and when it said book now, it then took me to the Neely website.
Okay.
Perfect. See, that's exactly how it should be.
Yes.
Like to me that makes sense because then it's not trying to integrate some stuff that like maybe other people don't want to use.
Exactly.
But bringing you to the book now page and like telling you how far it's going to go and stuff like that, that all makes sense to me.
Right.
I am curious to know. So it has other filters. It has like the types of tours, other types of experiences for some of them, ambiance, and then amenities. So it did list that Neely is pet friendly.
Okay.
Oh wait, it reloaded now. And it listed they're open 7 days a week except for holidays.
Okay.
And what was the other one? Oh gosh. The page went away. So I was curious of where they were getting the information on some of these, especially if they're not coordinating directly with the distilleries.
Well, those
But
are all true for us. So I mean,
so
like
that's
we
good. At least
do.
they're so the one
Yeah.
test I did on accuracy turned out then.
Yeah. So that's good.
Let's see if there's
That's
anything.
good.
Let me take a look here and see if there's anything inaccurate on here. Let's see. Yeah,
Concept of
family.
streamlining can be difficult, right? Just the word streamlining
Yeah,
alone can
exactly.
be
Yeah, family
problematic.
friendly, craft distillery,
Family
pet
friendly,
friendly.
pet friendly, craft, and open 7 days except for
Right.
holidays. So
That makes sense. Boone County's close to us. Second site's Pensive. Yeah, that all checks out.
From again, from a consumer perspective, I still would like to see them add where you can book through them because get everybody on the same rules. It'd be nice to if they worked where it's just so tough to. It takes a month of planning to build a proper bourbon trail trip. It does because you have to go in at different times, and if they could do it, and again, as long as they're not charging you guys anything to do that, but you do maybe you get charged on the back end. That's totally different than hey, you pay X amount a month and no matter what. But if they're just paying you on consumption, that's a little bit different thing because they're paying you on sold tickets. Then that's always a different conversation of hey, this is business coming to you. We just want a little piece of that. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think it's a step in the right direction. And will it evolve? Of course, all technology evolves, right? Yeah. So
Yeah,
we'll see what they come up with.
it's definitely an interesting time for all the Bourbon Trail stuff, and I hope that we get some things kind of sorted through because it's yeah. Oh,
It's so well known, and this goes back to a show we did a while back, and I think Katie was the one that said it. People that aren't bourbon fans know the Bourbon Trail and the concept of the Bourbon Trail that ties together the Kentucky distilleries, and they want to know. If you tell them you're a bourbon fan, one of the ways that they connect with you is have you ever gone to the Bourbon Trail? Have I don't know that they conceptually really know what that means, but that's a question that they ask, so they've heard of it. So yeah. So the Bourbon Trail is a good thing, and it's definitely lost its mojo here recently as they added so many places on there. And then they got rid of the reward system and stuff like that. They've done a lot. So hopefully this is it seems like they've been stripping things away. This is nice. They're finally adding something back in.
I think they should have done it more like an actual like they had the passports that had like the different photos of the distilleries and like you get stamped on the distillery page. They should have done it more like an actual physical passport where when you go to a new country, you don't have to have Ghana in your passport to get stamped for Ghana, right? Like you,
Right.
you can just go there, you get the stamp from there, right?
Right.
And like that's how it should be done, is like you get this different stamps from every single one, and that's how you fill up your passport, so that, because what was a problem, I think, for the Bourbon Trail was the fact that they kept on having to update the books.
Right.
It's like, oh, we don't have this one in the book. We don't have this one in the book. Like, just don't do that then. Don't have the actual distilleries in the book. Like, just have an app that you can have like with your book, and maybe you could and after the stamp can have a QR code.
Blank passport page.
Yeah, blank passport, like all these blank passport pages, and you get the stamp. In the stamp, there's a QR code. You can scan that goes into your app that now you've been to that place, but you have a physical passport to do it with.
Right.
That's what I think they should have done, because then you still keep a physical aspect of it, which is what I think the consumers are missing, and
Right.
some of the consumers do actually want.
So are you saying like a virtual one or an actual paper copy?
A combination of both, like have an actual.
Yeah, because I think they could do a cool looking, virtual passport where you can even scroll and thumb through it.
Have an actual physical blank passport book that you can fill in your name in the front, just like not a photo like a real passport, but have your information in the front. And then you can go to whatever distillers you want, but every single distillery's stamp has a QR code in it with their name on the top of it, so you know which distillery it was stamped from. And then you go into your app after you go to that, and you scan your little passport stamp that you got, and then it goes into your app, right? Yeah. And then it's kind of a combination of the two. That's what I think they should have done, because that, to me, like I said, the biggest cost for them was updating all the passports all the time. Now they're behind because we're adding in all these new ones. If they did that, then you still have the thing that people want, which is an actual physical book.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And then it encourages to going back to additional ones and still getting the stamp, because if you have your passport going out of countries, you get additional stamps. And
it's like, I've got 12 stamps from this place because it's my favorite place.
Yep. I like that.
And whatever. And then you could do something like, maybe some distilleries will want to oh, you've got 12 stamps from our distillery, so you get a special whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You could do something like that if you wanted to.
And encourage everyone to get stamps that have the dates on them too, and so it's showing the exact date that you were there, and then you could look back and have a place too where it shows you all the.
You can just have a secondary stamp that has the date on it.
Yep.
Full stamp. Stamp the date, stamp the distillery, and then you're good to go. So that's what my thought is with it. I just think that losing the actual physical passport was a huge loss, I think, for the Bourbon Trail, and I think that we've seen that decline because of the loss of the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So they're hopefully listening, and they'll continue to evolve this thing. So, because we want to make it great. That's a big component of Kentucky bourbon, is that trail, that this idea that you want to go visit the distilleries, and that's important. That's important for creating loyal customers, having them come to your place. So they need to figure out what they can do to help facilitate that, I think. So there you go. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Matt, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me super excited about booking my trip down to Neely, and across all socials at Whiskey Tequila Fridays podcast.
All right, Katie.
You can find me over on Instagram at Katie Proof.
Justine.
You can find me on Instagram at JA_Maze.
Miss Becca Sue.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at Miss Becca Sue, 1K, no C's.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find at Steve Akeley, Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. We've also got a company website, abvnetwork.com. Check that one out. All of our content is out there. Also, come by and see me at the ABV Barrel Shop. We've always got cool things going on. We're online, abvbarrelshop.com. Miss Becca Sue, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I'd just like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review that includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. If you like what we're doing, we ask you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
Great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace. Before we let you go, let's talk about one last thing. The ABV Barrel Shop in the St. Louis community of Arnold, Missouri. The ABV Barrel Shop is focused on a couple of things. First of all, single barrels. We are the place where single barrels live. We go to distilleries, taste through the whiskey, select the best barrel, and have it shipped to our store where we present it to you, our customers, by allowing you to try before you buy. We're also known for the classes that we have in our education center in the store, as well as the events we have with industry professionals from the bourbon business. If you are in the St. Louis area, please come by and visit us at 6 Fox Valley Center in Arnold, Missouri, or at a minimum, at least sign up for our email and text distribution so you know exactly what's going on in our shop over at abvbarrelshop.com. This is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network, signing off. We thank you for listening to our programming and truly appreciate your support.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.